Hi there, and welcome back to our series on the biggest myths of starting a successful coaching business.
Yeah, we're doing a little myth busting right now.
We are, and if you missed our blog last week, you can check it out at our website, amandakaufman.net, or on our podcast, The Crush Method Show.
Yep. And we busted a myth last week, so now we're moving on to myth number 2.
Myth number 2.
And myth number 2 actually kind of sparks out of some interviews I've been doing. I've been doing some follow-up interviews on surveys we do with coaches we help. And one of the things that I keep hearing in those interviews, a lot of people say, I just want to get my website up. I'm really working on my website, or I'm refining my website, or I'm not happy with my website. There's a lot of website agita, or anxiety, or angst out there about it. And so we thought we'd kind of take a look at that myth a little bit and maybe do a little myth busting on the myth of I've got to have a website.
I love this one because it's something I struggled with too.
Yep.
When I first started my coaching business, I agonized over having a website.
I remember.
And I remember I was trying all these different, templates and the colors and what do I say and what's the outline. And I was like, should I do WordPress? Should I do Square? Should I do Wix? Like, what should I do? And
we hear about this a lot. When
Yeah.
I was going through my coaching training, that's often what I heard from my fellow coaches. Oh, my website. I got to get my website up.
Got to get my website up.
Yep.
And, back in the day, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
It could cost you upwards of $15,000 to get your website created by a developer. And that was back in the day.
Yeah.
Now you can create a website on your cell phone. And
literally in minutes.
Like, it is crazy sauce how much that has been automated. And here's something that I did not know until I discovered it. You see, I was really working on building my business, and I think I rebuilt a website at least 4 times.
Yes, you did.
I really did. And I was always unhappy with it. I didn't have photos of myself that looked any good, and it was just like, it was such a source of pain.
I don't have my pricing menu in there. I don't have this in there. I don't have that in there.
Yeah, exactly. And I went to this live event early in my journey, and it was as a part of a membership that I'm a member of, still to this day. And that's where I met my copy coach. So my copy coach, her name is Mara Glazer. She's not my coach anymore, sadly. I really loved her. And she had a business with someone who was an expert in sales. And together they were teaching copy, like marketing copy and sales together. And I'm like, that's brilliant. That's such a good idea. And what was so funny is they got that business up and running, and they got up to $1 million, you guys, doing coaching and consulting. And Mara still hadn't gotten around to building their website.
Wait. They made $1 million and no website?
None.
I think we could already say this myth might well be busted just on that.
And I was like, what? And then when I was talking to Mara, she's like, yeah, now it's kind of becoming, I don't want to do the website because I want to show how much you can make without having a website.
Have a website.
And it taught me a lot. I realized I was putting all of this energy into a website. But the thing is, I'm a coach. And if you're watching this, you probably are a coach yourself. Or listening to this, if you're on the podcast, shout out, leave us a review.
Absolutely.
But the truth is that people don't really roll out of bed and Google, I want a life coach near me.
Nope. Nobody does that.
If you have a yoga studio, people totally Google that. You should have a website.
Yeah. Where's a yoga studio near me? Yep.
If you're a plumber, people Google for that. So you should probably have a website. But if you're a life coach, if you're a coach who is helping people with a particular skill set, the more important thing to learn how to do is direct response marketing. And that you can do with basic landing pages online. You don't even need a website. And that's exactly what Mara did.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that kind of brings us along to takeaway number 2, which is if you're going to do a website, and we alluded to this earlier, keep it simple. As Amanda said earlier, you can put it up in a matter of minutes on your phone. I think something you suggested one time is get a teenager to help you do your website.
I'll bet you know a teenager that if you gave him $50 or $100, he'd build that thing with you like over his shoulder saying, could you make it look like this? Could you make it look like that?
Yep.
There you go. So nice and simple.
Absolutely. And we talk a lot about not overthinking stuff, not being too precious about it. To be honest, just as Amanda just highlighted to you, nobody's Googling life coach near me. Mm-hmm. They're looking for results. So as a result, they're probably not going to land on your website just because they're doing a Google search for coaching. Instead, they might just go there to validate, is this a real business? And that's about the extent of it. So all you really have to have on your website is your name, what you do, and maybe how to contact you. It's literally that simple.
It is that simple. And we love having a blog because it's a way to continue the conversation with someone. And if they are exploring you for the first time and you've got a really consistent blog presence on your website, it does a lot for your credibility, right? Because then you obviously care about the topic enough to continue to talk about it. It shows something about your professionalism because you are consistent about posting, and they can actually listen to the content and have a pretty good idea that you know your stuff. So the other thing about having that presence and that website is, I think a good question is, well, when should I do it? You know, when should I do it? If it's not that helpful, like, can I get away with not ever having one? Yeah, you can totally get away with not ever having one. But most people kind of want to have one. So
at least a landing page like we're describing, something simple.
Yeah. So here's my guidance for that. First step in your coaching business is to tell the people you already know that you are in business. I know that sounds really basic, and to be honest, it's something that I really avoided doing. And it was because I was afraid that I was going to get rejected. So I put a lot of energy into trying to impress people that were complete strangers. And if I could rewind the watch, I think I would have done a lot more to let the people who already knew me, liked me, and trust me know what the heck I was doing so that they had a chance to support me.
Oh, yeah. That makes a big difference.
That's what I would do. Step 2, I would put my pants on, leave my house, right? So this, no joke, you guys, this took me literally almost a year to figure out. But if I went to an event, if I went to a networking event, or I went to a seminar or a workshop, I just got out of my house, and usually it was to learn something I already wanted to find out about. I met so many people that way. And so if you're doing those activities, you're asking for the support of people you already know, and you are, you know, maybe doing some light posting on social media. And let's say you collect 200 names, right? 200 names of people that you could email on a regular basis about your stuff. Then go ahead and spend one afternoon doing the website. Don't be precious.
Absolutely. Don't overbuild the watch. Keep it simple. Get it up and let it run. Let it do its work for you. And like we said, you just need a few things on there to get it going. You can always update it later. In fact, I'll point out an observation. If you've been stressing about your website and it's taking you 3, 4, 5 months and you've still not done it because you're stressing about it and wanting to get it just right before you put it out in the world, you've just lost 3, 4, 5 months of potential work on other stuff because you've been focused so much on that. And in that 3 or 4 or 5 months, somebody could have already landed on a page that just had your name, what you do, and how to contact you. You might have gotten a contact out of that.
You might have. So don't be precious about it. Focus primarily on meeting and talking and connecting with people, and make sure you have an offer. Make sure you have something that, like, hey, I could sit down with you and coach you for an hour. How does that sound, right? And if somebody's like, I love this, I want to keep doing this with you, it's really important that you have a package ready to go. And, you know, if I had just one wish about this particular myth, is I wish that coaches obsessed about how I could put my package together as much as they do about the website.
Oh man, that would really get them into action. And you know what? This is honestly something that we go into much greater detail about in our program, Let's Launch Your Coaching Business. But it's something where that's a better place to put your time than spending 3 or 4 or 5 months fine-tuning your website.
Yes, and if you want more information about Let's Launch Your Coaching Biz, this is our premier program where we help coaches that are very serious about getting into impact and into action with their clients. Just reply to an email from us, or you can submit a request to chat with us through our website at Amanda Kaufman, that's KAUFMAN.net.
N-E-T.
Yes, N-E-T. And we can't wait to hear from you. So next week, we're going to be sharing with you myth number 3 to successfully starting a successful coaching business. We'll chat with you again next week.
All best. Goodbye.
Mwah. Hey there. Thanks for tuning into this week's The Crush Method video blog. I'm Amanda Kaufman.
And I'm Chris Lavelle. We loved having you here.
Be sure to subscribe to receive more goodies in your inbox every week, and share with others you know who are eager to learn more about building their coaching and expert business.
And don't forget to leave a comment below to share your own experiences to inspire and lift others on this journey.
And check out our podcast on iTunes called The Crush Method Show so we can join you on your commutes and workouts.